Good evening. Thank you for being here. I'm Mercedes Hernandez. Joe Biden made his first speech as president-elect tonight. CBS News projects he has won the presidential election, defeating President Donald Trump after a chaotic first term marked by a global pandemic, a battered economy, and controversy that left the nation divided. Correspondent Michael George is in Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, with the latest.
President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris delivered a message of unity to supporters and the nation.
I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify.
Speaking at a victory celebration in Wilmington, Delaware, Biden said he's ready to get to work for all the American people.
Let's give each other a chance. It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature, see each other again, listen to each other again.
Harris, the first woman and person of color to win the vice presidency, said she may be the first, but won't be the last.
Every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities.
Yes, 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 yes.
Nationwide, celebrations began in the morning and extended into the night.
Oh my goodness, I was so excited to find out that Joe Biden is our 46th president.
Here in Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, many have been celebrating in the streets. Supporters told us they're ready to look to the future.
It's been a very uneasy week, and it's great to feel a sense of relief right now.
President Trump's supporters also rallied in cities including Atlanta and Lansing, Michigan. The president signaled he would continue to pursue unsubstantiated allegations of election fraud, tweeting, "I won this election by a lot." As ballot counting nears an end, President-elect Biden is leading in the popular vote by more than 4 million. Michael George, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Thank you, Michael. President-elect Biden will be sworn into office in Washington, D.C. on January 20th. We spoke to the leaders of Taylor County's political parties about today's results. Chairwoman of the Taylor County Democrats, Elizabeth Smizer, says she thinks the Biden-Harris administration will give the country a chance to heal, have productive conversations about how to move forward as a nation, and have a positive impact on race relations around the United States and right here in the big country.
We have to be able to come together as friends and neighbors, as community members, to start doing the work that will make our country better, that will start uniting us again, that will focus us on who we want to be as Americans, who we want to be as community members, family members, neighbors, friends.
We also spoke to the chairman of the Taylor County Republicans, Winston Allhausen, who was not available to go on camera today, but did give us a statement saying, quote, "It's not over until all the votes are counted," end quote, and he is encouraged by local and state elections here in Texas. We're also checking in tonight on our Central Texas neighbors down in Austin, where supporters of Biden and Trump have posted up outside the gates of the state capitol all day throughout the day. While Joe Biden may have won the presidency, he lost here in Texas. KTAB's Wes Rappaport spoke with political leaders in the state about the path forward in the Lone Star State with a Biden in the White House.
The election results brought some to celebrate and others to tears. The Texas Democratic Party chair was emotional Saturday.
It's been a nightmare for a lot of us. When you see children caged, when you see people who, because of their sexual preference, are denied the right to serve in our military, when you see people who don't have access to health care.
The chair of the Texas Senate Democratic Caucus says she's proud to send a liberal administration back to Washington and ready to tackle important issues.
We have to address the pandemic. We have to get the economy going. We have such a large sector of our economy that our budget is based on that is hurting. And how do we turn that around? And that's not a red or blue issue. That is a Texas issue.
You can see some Biden supporters have gathered here outside the Texas Capitol to show their support for the Democrats, but this is a state Donald Trump carried by almost 6 points. Trump supporters out here as well.
Texas has to be the red wall that stops the liberal agenda from the far left out of Washington, D.C. We've got to stand up for Texans. We've got to stand up for our economy, our workers, and we've got to make sure that they have a job that they can go to every day to feed their families, to live their lives.
The state's senior U.S. senator, who just won re-election himself, turned his attention to Georgia, where both Senate seats will head to a runoff and decide the makeup of the upper chamber. A Democratic majority in the Senate would cinch the radical agenda of the left, he tweeted. They must be stopped. Democratic Congressman Lloyd Doggett from Austin is hopeful both parties can work together on behalf of the people who elected them, no matter who's in the White House.
We have to hope there's a willingness to work together, but we have to prepare in what we're doing, not only by the constraint of the Senate.
Thank you, Wes. Moving to today's COVID numbers for Taylor County. Another death, 150 new cases, and 41 recoveries reported today. This makes for 83 deaths to date in the county, the latest a woman in her 80s with pre-existing conditions. The number of active cases is now at 1,792. 44 people are currently hospitalized with the virus. Most COVID-related deaths reported in Taylor County have been elderly people with pre-existing or underlying health conditions. KTAB's Danica Hill spoke to local health experts to find out more on the definition of the term and how it's helpful in understanding why a COVID patient died.
COVID affects pretty much every organ system within our body. So any organ system that you can have problems with an underlying condition will make COVID worse.
But what is an underlying condition?
If you have problems with your heart, your lung, your kidneys, if you have issues with any issues nervous system, that's already going to put you at a compromised position. And you put COVID on top of that, that increases the severity of the illness.
Hendrick Health Chief Medical Officer Dr. Rob Wiley explaining what increased severity means.
The risk of being hospitalized, the risk of being in our ICU, the risk of being on a breathing machine like a ventilator, or even death.
Obesity, smoking, and age are all underlying conditions, and children aren't exempt.
So for children who have congenital heart disease or asthma or some autoimmune disorder, they are at risk for more severe illness.
Hendrick Health officials are urging people to practice COVID-19 safety measures like wearing a mask and social distancing.
You should be washing your hands frequently before and after any activity. You should be cleaning surfaces. You should be using a disinfectant that has 70% alcohol.
They say this is an effort to keep our community up and thriving. In Abilene, with coverage you can count on, Danica Hill, KTAB News.
Thank you, Danica. According to the state, there have now been more than 1 million COVID cases reported in Texas. Moving back here to news in the Key City, this morning members of the Abilene community gathering in downtown Abilene for the annual Big Country Veterans Day Parade. Our Dan Booth was there to see how important it is for people in the Big Country to support our troops.
I'm showing my pride for my country and my veterans.
On Saturday morning, people of all ages came to downtown Abilene to watch the annual Veterans Day Parade, a tradition like no other.
I think this means a whole lot to the veterans that we get this recognition for our time served. We spend all these years, we give it all we can, and it's nice that the community can give back and recognize that.
Veterans traveled from all over the state of Texas to join in on the celebration, and Bruns says he's hoping next year more veterans will be able to participate.
We had a lot of participants that had to play it safe and stay home. Hopefully we'll get to have it. We'll have a better plan, and we'll have COVID under control next year. And hopefully we can have a parade twice the size next year.
Director of Taylor County Veterans Services Brian Massey says organizing this parade gives him the chance to salute these veterans in a way they'll never forget.
This is the best job in the world because I get to serve veterans. All those guys that came before me, all those guys that are coming after me, the ones that came before me, they were my heroes when I was a kid, and now I get to give back.
Families in attendance and even those who helped run the parade used this opportunity to emphasize the toll being a part of a military family has on everyone involved.
My husband served in the Texas Army National Guard for over 23 years. I'm so proud of what he's done for this country. You know, I couldn't be prouder as a wife and also as an American.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Dan Booth.
Thank you, Dan. You can find more information about the Taylor County Veterans Services and how to get involved on our website, BigCountryHomepage.com. Coming up on KTAB News at 10, a first-generation university student shares how she's helping others like her become the first in their family to pursue college. And Christmas comes early to the Key City. Our Kevin Clack has the holiday footage from the Junior League of Abilene's first ever tree sale. Wow, Pete, it really doesn't feel a lot like Christmas outside. How about that?
No, we got some more days coming your way, Miss Mercedes. We can take a look at what we will cover here at the Full Weather. Pretty Sunday on tap, but guys, it's going to be a little bit breezy. Those winds will return in the afternoon. We can't